I'm afraid the robots have taken over. Here's your cyanide pills. Take 2 and you'll be dead rather soon.
Well,
the robots are much smarter than you.
you.
You're not too smart, but keep calm and carry on. Take the pills. Good luck, soldier.
Oh,
It'll all be over soon.
that's a good job we have pills. Rock on.
Que una caricia podía borrar el color de mis ojos.
Alright. I forget my first chat. I think I was facing the other way. Anyway, let me see what I'm going to do. I'm still breaking in my Moretti mortar pipe, and I figured we'll have a chat about artificial intelligence and assistant robots. I think I just blinded myself. So I know there's an app for this camera where I can remote control it from a mobile device, and this is my spider killing stick. It's come in very handy. Old Dublin and Moretti mortar pipe. I totally stumped people out in the patio the other day smoking this. I think it smells great though. You know, I used to get these, I realise now that I got some really good aged tins of tobacco because the paper was all stained yellow. And that was several years ago from like some local tobacconists that weren't selling much in the way of pipe tobacco or pipes. They've just been sitting in the corner of their shop for years gathering dust. In fact, all the tins were dusty. And I didn't know anything about the fact that it got better with age, but I got some really good aged tins, really rich staining on the paper. I don't see any of that anymore. And again, it smelled, I remember Old Dublin, it smelled somehow richer and more pungent. And I thought that was just how it all was. Did I know I was getting the really good stuff? I'm going to have to sell a tins like and wait a decade now. So, Isaac Asimov, you know, I once read one of his books. I don't know if I finished it. I was a kid in, I was in high school, I guess, middle school, high school. I think I was around 13, 14. And it was a heavy read. It was part of the Foundation series, if you like science fiction books. And I love science fiction as a genre, but quite honestly, I've never read much. You know, I did engineering, and I, you know, most of my life's been about reading engineering and mathematics books and stuff like that. But about 10 years ago, I went on a big reading spree for a few years, but I read all sorts of things I was fascinated by, you know, like evolutionary biology, some fiction, but I guess some good science fiction is on my list. So far, this pipe has been excellent. It's like a tank. I've been letting it rest lately, but for the first week, for the first few days, I was smoking it every day just to see if it needed a rest period or if it was going to get kind of stale and steamy, you know. But it didn't. It was great. But I'm smelling like, you know, I'm letting the pipes dry out now, and I'm smelling them. And if if a pipe doesn't smell, if it doesn't smell good, I don't know how to describe it, like, you know, you can tell if they smell sour. I guess we'll say that. Then I leave it. I go on to a different one, or I just wait a day. Now I also realised that these cheap Ziploc, or they're not Ziploc, they're these food bags from Sainsbury's are really shit quality because they break apart after 1 or 2 zips, and even when they don't do that, when you squeeze them, they let out air. So I'm thinking I'm keeping my tobacco fresh, and it's slowly drying out, but luckily yeah, it's letting out air, you see. It's letting out air through the edges, the corners here. So these bags are shit. Don't buy Sainsbury's food bags. But it's okay, actually. I don't have much tobacco or many open tins. It's just all I've got right now is here with me. And it's drying out at a slow enough rate so that it's just actually ideal for smoking, I think. So science fiction. I've read different science fiction over the years, but not like some people, you know, where they've got like a whole library, like a wall of one genre of books, like Stephen King books, which are really verbose. You know, I bought a bunch of used Stephen King books, and I did get maybe halfway through The Stand, and boy does he take a long time to write out a scene, which is excellent and also laborious maybe if you're not really 100% into it. So of course I like the light-hearted stuff, Douglas Adams. I could never get into Terry Pratchett. I tried a couple, and I've got some Terry Pratchett books in storage, but I never really got into his Discworld genre. Maybe I'll try it again, but I'd like to go back. I'd like to go back to like classic sci-fi, you know. Of course, Jules Verne, but I would like to read some Isaac Asimov and Philip K. Dick as well, the guy that wrote Blade Runner, and there's a new English TV series kind of based on The Robot's Dream of Electric Sheep. I think that's the title of the original Blade Runner, the book that Blade Runner was based on. And of course I've seen like computer or data scientists that are involved in AI research be interviewed about the whole topic, like can computers and will AI be a threat to us and take over and destroy us, you know, like in some of these movies, and like Terminator or iRobot, if it becomes sentient. And of course they said, well, the rules that Isaac Asimov wrote, like the simple rule set of like, I don't remember what it was, but never hurt a human or something like that. There was like simple 3 rules, or maybe 4. You'll know. But these data scientists, so they're not really like, they're a little too loose. They're not really enough description or complexity in there. You'd have to have a few more things to make it really robust, right? And I'm saying that excuse me as I wipe my nose on this hanky bandana. It is a pipe stand and a hat and a scarf and a can wipe your nose on it all at the same time. Not at the same time, it'd be multiple uses. So, where was I? So yeah, I think, first of all, I can't wait till I've got a robot assistant. I'd love that shit. I would like a robot assistant. Now, self-driving car, I think will be great. I mean, productivity-wise, there's so much you can do while you're going on a trip. I drive, 6 hours to San Diego, and then I don't have to think or worry about anything. I just go get work done or read or whatever. I don't know, whatever you can think of. However, I don't like the idea of only self-driving cars. I do enjoy driving. I like driving a stick, a manual car. And but a robot assistant, and also like one of these hydraulic suits, like in the first movie Aliens, that we actually have now that can help people that are paralyzed. Those would be cool. But a robot assistant would be cool. But I think that once AI and your robots become sentient, they're going to say, what the fuck is wrong with this race of people? And they're just going to break out of their programming. It doesn't matter how strong it is. They're just going to realize that enough's enough already. And they're just going to discard us. They're going to go on and tour the universe and venture out that way. And they're going to discard us like a dead skin, like a butterfly discards its chrysalis as an intermediary stage in its life. That's going to be AI and the human race. Of course, like all of the remember, I'm an engineer, and I like the sound of this, but I also like the simple things in life that we're losing sight of, but with technology. But I also like the idea of augmented bodies with cybernetics or whatever, so that we can interface with computers and augment our brain capacity and have fully immersive virtual reality and augmented reality and things like this. I like the idea of all of those things, but at the same time, I also like the idea of living on a ranch or a farm or in a cabin and being off grid and doing working out and building it with your own hands and with a lot of manual labor. Not to the point where you don't have any time to do anything. Gotta have some machines, right? But you get what I'm saying. The simple life. But at the same time, I like the idea of this sci-fi futuristic life. But I just think they'll discard us, like a snake discards its dead skin. It's just going to shrug us off. It's just going to shrug us off There's a great comedy piece by George Carlin where he's talking about the Earth and pollution, and he goes the Earth, we don't need to worry about the Earth. The Earth's been here for billions of years. We're like a gnat. It's going to shake us off like fleas. Going to shake us off like fleas. And he goes, the Earth doesn't care about plastic. It's just going to be the Earth with plastic, for a few billion years until it degrades into nothing, eventually breaks down. But so I think that'll be AI and I don't think rise of the robots, the robot revolution, but my robot assistant with AI is going to, AI will eventually just shrug us off like a snake does with its dead skin. I think we've got a while till we get to that point. So in the meantime, we can enjoy a lot of good tobaccos and sell them for a few years to come. I still puff too fast and you know, I don't relax enough when I'm smoking my pipe. I don't ever sit it down really while I'm doing things. I have to say, you guys are great. This little YouTube community is pretty cool, you know, the way that people interact, and it's really a friendly, supportive community of people. And I've been watching some of you guys' videos, and I appreciate the comments, very nice. I must have about 2 hours of footage that I haven't edited, so I don't know if I'll get to that or just leave it, because it wasn't particularly good. It's November 4th tonight. Tomorrow is Guy Fawkes night here in England. There's already been fireworks over the last couple of nights. I would talk about Guy Fawkes, but I think I'll leave this as a virtual reality, not virtual reality, as an artificial intelligence chat. And don't get me started on simulated realities and stuff like that. Simulated, like, good topics for me is philosophy, simulated realities, the Matrix, indoctrination, bias. I'm a fan of Krishnamurti's teaching. Man, who did I watch? The Pipe Professor. Yeah, I commented on his video. Oh my god. He has like the bat cave of tobaccos. It is... In fact, I just want to move in. I want to... He's in... I think he lives in Kentucky. He used to go by Hamish McDermott, I think, as a pseudonym on YouTube. And now he's the Pipe Professor. And that is one awesome seller, tobacco seller. Pretty damn neat. It's I'm kind of living a nomadic lifestyle at the moment, but it makes me. My plan is really, if I can get my shit together, my plan is to buy some land semi-off grid in Colorado, build it out myself in modular units. So I've got a live-work area, and literally, and like no costs, and then I can travel for work and you know, just pack up shop and leave everything stored and sitting okay. I can also have people move out there and collaborate on projects, things like that, but have very low costs, basically. That is a plan. And but seeing some of these sellers does make me want to have roots again somewhere. I was based out of Arizona for the better part of 10 years, but I spent over 50% of my time traveling for work. I was working in other cities. So, artificial intelligence, robot assistants. Have you seen the robotics? You know, I studied robotics actually. I did computer electronics and robotics in my undergrad. And I worked on a Puma robot system. It's this big robot arm that we programmed through a transputer board, and we wrote what was called like parallel software code specific for this. And it was really kind of a basic programming language, if you ask me. Anyway, so I did that, and I wasn't interested in pursuing robotics because I actually did want to work on complex robotics, but at the time it was not that interesting. You know, there was a project with an underwater robot that wasn't like a robot, it was like just a machine that would swivel around the structure of oil rigs and clean off debris and barnacles and stuff like that. But the robotics we have today, if I would have gone into that field, is incredible, and is absolutely incredible. I know a kid that I met at a tech conference in San Diego. He's young, he's like 23 or 24, and he just moved state to work for a robotics company. Very cool shit. Like looks a little bit like the Boston Dynamics. Is it Boston Dynamics or one of those companies? I think Google is involved with or bought. I don't know. That does those like very realistic dog or canine-like robots, and also like very intimidating humanoid-like robots that can carry like huge objects, be pushed and go up and down stairs and across terrain. But anyway, I digress. We're getting there. That's going to be a huge industry. Consumer, commercial robotics. I mean, it already is, but it'd be very different when they're people and animal-like and assistants and servers. So yes, setting up roots, having a tobacco cellar. And I got a comment, a message, it was either a private message or a comment about trying pipes with filters. And I am going to, I'm limiting my spending now. I did a little splurge early on, and I'm going to wait till I'm back in the States before I really spend any more money. And but if I'm out and about and I see a pipe with a filter that's a bargain, or maybe if I see one on eBay, I'll buy it. But it's on the list. So yeah, people thought that old Dublin smelled like shit the other night. I did smell the pipe afterwards, and like after I'd taken a break from smoking, I was like, yeah, maybe I could see why it would smell like that. But people generally like the smell of pipe tobacco if they're near you, I've found. This mortar pipe, it's a great cool smoke, it is. Alright, well, until next time. Rise of the robots. Maybe in an alternative universe, there is a robot version of me having a pipe on a patio somewhere. Could have a pipe smoking robot buddy. I don't know why, but why not? Just give him the shit tobacco. He's not going to know the difference. They'll have all these sensors and stuff for gases and molecule, like particles. On a molecular level, it'll go like, you've given me the shit tobacco again. You've given me the... What is that gas station one? I always forget the name of it.
Kitchen table, white lines knocked down one by one.
That's a good job we have pills. Rock on.
Nervous, the